The incredibly talented and popular actor Jimmy Stewart was born James Maitland Stewart to Alexander and Elizabeth Stewart on May 20th, 1908. Growing up in Indiana, Pennsylvania with his sisters Virginia and Mary, his destiny was to inherit the family business, a successful hardware store. To assist in the management of that store, he entered Princeton University in 1928 and earned a degree of architecture. It was while a student at Princeton that he joined the university players and became quite close with the actor Henry Fonda. After graduating in 1932, they assisted a friend in preparing a Broadway show. Stewart joined the troupe for the show on Broadway, and though it was not a successful play, his first part was in the play Carrie Nation. Again, this story was a moderate success, but Jimmy received high praise from New York art critics. This led to Hollywood scouts noticing his talent. He signed on with the great MGM in 1935 and was given a few minor roles, such as The Murder Man with Spencer Tracy and Rose Marie. The studio did not think he was star material on account of his tall, lanky build and hesitant recital of lines. Henry Fonda's wife, Margaret Sullivan, coached Stewart with his delivery of lines and was instrumental in gaining him a part in the 1936 film Next Time We Love. It was a box office hit, and it was Stewart's big break. He made 21 films during the 1930s, working with Ginger Rogers, Clark Gable, and Joan Crawford, which led to more national recognition. The great director, Frank Capra, spotted his talent in the film Navy Blue and Gold and gave Stewart the role of his romantic lead in the film You Can't Take It With You. They also collaborated together the following year in the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, for which Jimmy was nominated for the Best Actor award at the Academy Awards. He did win Best Actor for his role in 1940's hit film The Philadelphia Story. He became the chameleon of acting, starring in musicals, dramas, romantic comedies, and westerns. He had become MGM's top male actor, so the company's directors and producers were shocked when Stewart announced his intention to join the armed forces in 1940. As a child, he had longed to be a naval aviator. As an adult and a successful actor, he gained his pilot's license and by spring 1940 had logged 400 hours of flying, so it made complete sense that he should join the Army Air Corps. Yet, even enlisting proved a challenge for Stewart. He was far too thin for the Army's standards. That did not deter Jimmy, who thought that the country was far more important than his acting career. He officially became a private in March 1940, the first Hollywood star to join the armed forces during World War II. It was the fact that he was a star that held him back from serving in the way he thought he should. In the early days of his enlistment, the Army placed Stewart in the public eye, working USO shows and war bond rallies. And he fought to do more, being too old for aviation training and being a college graduate. Jimmy was commissioned as second lieutenant in 1942, after a long, drawn-out battle with his superiors over whether or not he should seek combat. He was sent to New Mexico to train pilots. His tour there lasted a year, and his wish to become a combat pilot came true, flying B-24 bombers over Germany in 20 combat missions. By the time peace came, Stewart had achieved the rank of colonel and had been awarded 2 distinguished flying crosses, 4 air medals, aquatic air, and received a presidential citation. He chose to stay in the peacetime Air Corps Reserves, which became the Air Force Reserves in 1947. After returning from war, he went home to work in his parents' shop before returning to Hollywood. His next role was in 1946, It's a Wonderful Life, also starring Donna Reed. It was not a great success at the box office, but has become a Christmas classic since the 1970s, ranking 11th on the American Film Institute's list of great movies of all time. It was also reported to be Stewart's favorite film he ever starred in. His time in the war had changed Jimmy both physically and emotionally. He never spoke of his experiences in it, taking the blame for the men he had lost. He was only 38, but looked and felt like a man of 50. So he and movie directors began looking for more mature roles for him to star in. He starred in Alfred Hitchcock's Rope in 1948 and the British director's masterpiece Vertigo in 1958 alongside Kim Novak. He also worked with the director Anthony Mann on 8 films, 6 of them westerns, and on the biopic The Glenn Miller Story, which became one of Stewart's most popular films. In 1949, Jimmy married the love of his life, Gloria Hattrick McLean. Their marriage lasted 45 years, ending with her death in 1994. They had a pair of twin daughters, Kelly and Judy, and Stewart became a father to Gloria's 2 sons, Michael and Ronald. Tragically, they lost Ronald during the Vietnam War. In the late 40s, he was asked to play the leading role in the Broadway hit Harvey, which tells the story of a man whose imaginary friend is a rabbit. It became his signature role, and he again played Elwood P. Dowd in the 1950 film adaptation. When the play had its revival on Broadway, he was again on stage. He also returned as the lovable drunk in the 1972 TV movie rendition of the story. Throughout the 50s and 60s, while still acting, Stewart had been in the service of the military. During peacetime, he flew B-52s and even flew an observation plane during the Vietnam War. He was promoted to Brigadier General in 1959 and retired with that rank in 1968 after 27 years. Jimmy stayed successful in the 70s and 80s, starring in his own TV show, The Jimmy Stewart Show, and on the TV series Hawkins. He unwittingly became a well-beloved poet when he read his poem, A Dog Called Bo, on the Johnny Carson Show. His book of poems, once published, became an instant success. He had to step away from the public eye in the late 80s and 90s due to poor health. His last film credit was voicing the part of Wiley Burp in the 1991's An American Tail, Fame Goes West. He officially retired after Gloria's death when he was 86. The talented, funny, loyal, traditional Jimmy Stewart passed away on July 2, 1997, after suffering a pulmonary embolism. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And don't forget to check out my other 1940s entertainment videos. Thanks so much for watching!